Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and Coffee Stream episode 491. We are going to try something a little bit different tonight. I'm going to try my hand at some true crime. I'm going to put my own spin on it. We're going to kind of do things sort of similar to the way we did do them with like news articles and stuff, but we're just going to focus on tonight just one person because I think I have enough to cover an entire hour on him. However, if we don't, I have a second criminal in the wings, so to speak. And the other thing about these two criminals at least the one criminal that I'll be covering tonight is he's blind, or he was, because he's dead now. He was blind, and so is the other person that if we need more time covered, she was also blind. Two different outcomes for these people, but first we're gonna focus on the man because I think a lot of my American subscribers, apologies, will actually know who this guy is because he is or was responsible for a fairly well-known event in the early 90s, the World Trade Center bombings in 1993. Yes, I am talking about the Blind Sheikh. Omar Abdel-rahman is the person that we will be talking about tonight. Welcome, Spittlebuggies. Welcome, W.R. Costin. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. And I hope my Canadian friends and my East Coast and Midwestern American friends are keeping themselves warm, because Jesus Christ, it is cold. It was minus 21 degrees Celsius today with the wind chill, and it's apparently supposed to be minus 21 tomorrow without the wind chill. So, yeah, keep warm if you happen to be in an ungodly area where you step outside and the air hurts your face. Blind Press, hello, Costin. Let's see. I'm human mainly. Miho! Hello, Miho! We are going to go. First, we're going to take a look at. I have two links here to covering this Blind Sheikh. I have the actual case file from the appellant court, because of course this asshole and his other 9 defendants appealed. And they lost. Spoiler alert, they lost. And I also have the Wikipedia page on this guy. And it's pretty extensive. Warmth is evil. Ha! Bull. I would almost live in a tropical area. Winter almost makes me want to live in a tropical area, except the little part of logic in my brain goes, hurricanes. And then I go, oh yeah, hurricanes. So, let's take a look at the case file first, and then we will dive into the Wikipedia, because it's got his family, it's got his Apparently, he was imprisoned in Egypt as well. So we'll first take a look at the case from the appellate court, and then we will take a look at his Wikipedia page. And then, if we are looking like we still have a bunch of time left, I will talk to you about the other person that I discovered. So what my plan is to make the coffee streams a bit more topical. So I'd like to do like a True Crime Monday, and not necessarily always do blind criminals, but you know, if I find one, obviously, I'll talk about them. But I would like to do like, you know, a True Crime Monday, maybe like do something, you know, switch it up, you know, every so often, you know, like a disability topic or a science topic. And then Friday guest day, I have a bunch of blind content creators that I've connected with over on TikTok, and I'm going to start reaching out to them to have them guest for Friday guest day. Ginger Snap, hello. So that's my plan for the coffee stream. So let's get this shared. Okay. And remember, friends, shameless shill, please consider either going to blindpress.net to leave a tip or going to the linktree to find all of the merch links. Please consider doing either, or, you know, becoming a patron or a fan. I have a large bill I need to pay down called a new computer, and it would greatly help if you know, and also, you know, share the stream far and wide with your friends. Maybe they'll buy some merch, or you know, you never know. But like, share, subscribe, hit up that link tree, find all the merch links. I might need a refill of water soon. Okay. So we have a case summary for the appellant court for Omar Abdel-rahman. This is U.S. v. Rahman. Let's see here. No, I'm not going to download the PDF. Summary. Holding that the loss of recordings made without the awareness of the criminal investigators could not be charged to the prosecution. Okay. Summary of this case from United States versus Greenberg. And so let's see here. This is the opinion. And remember, this man was tried along with 9 other people. And this was an American, like I said, an American case, because this involved the bombings in the World Trade Center in New York City in 1993. So we've got the introduction, which will go through the background. I'm not sure if we'll look at the pretrial. Some of this stuff, because I'm not a lawyer, I don't like the per curiam and the you know, the voir dire. I don't. So these are appeals by 10 defendants convicted of seditious conspiracy and other offenses arising out of a wide-ranging plot to conduct a campaign of urban terrorism among the activities of some or all of the defendants. Were rendering assistance to those who bombed the World Trade Center. See United States versus Serrana, which is, if you guys are interested, I could do that. I could look into that. Let's see here. So, affirming convictions of all four defendants, planning to bomb bridges and tunnels in New York City, murdering Rabbi Meir Kahane, and planning to murder the president of Egypt. God damn, dude. We affirm the convictions of all the defendants. We also affirm all of the sentences, with the exception of the sentence of Ibrahim El-Gabrani, which we remand for further consideration. And I do apologize, most of these names are Arabic and voiceover pronounces them horribly. So I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing them. So yeah, these guys helped the four main guys who bombed the World Trade Center, who were planning to bomb the bridges and tunnels, who murdered the rabbi, and who were planning to murder the president of Egypt. Defendants appellants: Sheikh Omar Abdel-rahman, El Said Moser, Ibrahim El-Gabrani, Clement Hampton, okay, El Amir how is that pronounced? Abdelhini, I think. Amer Fars, Kalafala, Tariq Al-Hassan, Fadil Abdelhini, I guess he's the brother of the other guy. Fadil Mohammed Saleh, and Victor Alvarez. Correctively, defendants appealed from judgments of convictions entered on January 17th, 1996, following a 9-month jury trial. God damn. In the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York, Michael B. Mukasey, District Judge. A 9-month trial. Could you imagine being a juror on a 9-month trial of this magnitude, no less, of a sedition and terrorism trial? Like, good God, that and in the age of where everything is connected nowadays, like, could you imagine back then? Like, there was barely internet. Like, internet was for special company business stuff at that point. And, you know, it was a different time. Like, I cannot imagine. The defendants were convicted of the following: seditious conspiracy, all defendants; soliciting the murder of Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak; in soliciting an attack on American military installations; Rahman. So this is just for Rahman. Conspiracy to murder Mubarak, and another one for Rahman. Bombing conspiracy, and then this one is all defendants. found guilty except Moser and El Gabrani. Attempted bombing, Hampton, El Amir, Fadil, Khalifallah. So Rahman was convicted specifically of the sedition for the bombing and the plan, like the solicitation for the murder of the Egyptian president. Now this guy is blind. Okay? He is a blind sheikh, and he was based, I believe, out of New Jersey. He had a mosque. And as I said before, and we'll learn about this in the Wikipedia site, he also apparently was imprisoned in Egypt before he came here. Or not here, but to the States. At trial, the government sought to prove that the defendants and others joined in a seditious conspiracy to wage a war of urban terrorism against the United States and forcibly to oppose its authority. The government also sought to prove that various other counts against the defendants, all of which broadly relate to the seditious conspiracy. The government alleged that members of the conspiracy, in brackets, acting alone or in concert, took the following actions, among others. In furtherance of the group's objectives, the attempted murder of Hosni Mubarak, the provision of assistance to the bombing of the World Trade Center in New York City on February 26, 1993, and the spring 1993 campaign of attempted bombings of buildings and tunnels in New York City. In addition, some members of the group were allegedly involved in the murder of Rabbi Meir Kahane by defendant Noser. God damn, this is a nasty group of people. I'll finish up later, thanks. No worries, Spittle Buggies. Have a good night. This is a nasty group of people. And I'd really like to know, like, I tried to find more than just this in the Wikipedia page, but I really couldn't. And I did look through some of the Wikipedia page. I was also doing, like, online school stuff with the kids. But I was hoping to find something about, you know, how he had influence, like this sheik had influence or exerted his religious influence over people, maybe. Like, I'd really like to learn kind of what this guy was like. So let's carry on here. The government produced evidence at trial showing the following. Rahman, a blind Islamic scholar and cleric, was the leader of the seditious conspiracy, the purpose of which was jihad in the sins of a struggle against enemies of Islam. Indicative of this purpose, a speech to his followers, Rahman instructed that they were to do jihad with the sword, with the cannon, with the grenades, with the missile against God's enemies. Jesus Christ. Wow. Okay, government's exhibition 550. Let's see. Rahman's role in the conspiracy was generally limited to overall supervision and direction of the membership, as he made efforts to remain a level above the details of individual operations. However, as a cleric and the group's leader, Rahman was entitled to dispense thoughtless religious opinions on the holiness of an act to members of the group, sanctioning proposed courses of conduct in advising them whether the acts would be in furtherance of jihad. So, yeah, he was like in legally, basically to translate from legalese. He was the puppet master. He was the guy that sat at back at the wherever the stuff was carried out, and he was the one who advised people and sent them off on the dirty work and maintained the appearance of an above board mosque, and like that was his job. That who says blind people can't be master criminals? No, this guy's a piece of shit. And so are his followers. According to his speeches and writings, what did he write them in Arabic Braille? How did everybody read them? Rahman perceives the United States as the primary oppressor of Muslims worldwide, active in assisting Israel to gain power in the Middle East, and largely under the control of the Jewish lobby. Rahman also considered the secular Egyptian government of Mubarak to be an oppressor because it has abided Jewish migration to Israel while seeking to decrease Muslim births. Wow, dude, you are right up there, aren't you? Holy Jesus. You are just a package, aren't you? That's really all I can call you is a package. You are insane. Like there's religious fundamentalism, and then there's you, sir. You are cuckoo bananas. Okay. These view, let's see. Rahman believes that jihad against Egypt and the United States is mandated by the Quran. Yes, okay. The Quran says, "Thou shalt go and commit jihad against Egypt and a country that doesn't even exist at the time of this book's writing." Yes. Awesome. Well thought, sir. Well thought. Well thought. Okay. Formation of a jihad and an army made up of small divisions and battalions to carry out this jihad was therefore necessary. According to Rahman, in order to beat back, instead of build back better, it was beat back better. No, oh, Jesus, blind press. Stop it. Anyway, beat back these oppressors of Islam, including the United States. Let's see. Where are we here? I would like to see, although Rahman did not arrive in the United States until 1990, a group of his followers began to organize the jihad army in New York, beginning in 1989. At that time, law enforcement had several of The members of the group under surveillance in July 1989. Oh, very interesting. On three successive weekends, FBI agents observed and photographed members of the jihad organization, including at different times Nosser Hampton, El Mahmoud, El Dalhalama, Mohammed Solana, and Nidal, at the latter three of whom were later convicted of the World Trade Center bombings. Ah. So Solana is mentioned in that United States v. Solana. This Rahman guy is very much the puppet master. He sent these guys ahead of him to get set up, and then he came in 1990, and 3 years later the World Trade Center bombings happened, and then the murder of the rabbi, and the attempted bombings of the buildings and tunnels. Like, this guy is quite literally the puppet master. He was probably very charismatic. People like this usually are. Regardless of what belief or ideology they have, people like this Rahman guy are generally very charismatic, very persuasive guys. And they have a great, they're very good at orating. They're great speakers. They're great manipulators. I have a feeling that's what this guy was like. On November 5th, 1990, Rabbi Meir Kahana, a former member of the Israeli parliament and a founder of the Jewish Defense League, gave a speech at the Marriott East Side Hotel in New York. Kahana was a militant Zionist who was advocating expelling Arabs from Israel. The content of this speech was a plea to American Jews to immigrate and settle in Israel. Nosser and possibly Solana and Bilal al-Qaisi, another member of the group, attended the speech. After the speech, as Kahana stood talking with the crowd, 2 shots were fired and Kahana was hit in the neck and chest. Oh, Jesus. Nosser, witnesses who observed with a gun in hand immediately after the shooting, then ran toward the rear of the door of the room, trailed by one of the onlookers at the door. 70-year-old Irving Franklin sought to impede Nosser's flight. Jesus, dude. Good attempt, dude. Like, the senior citizen. Nosser shot Franklin in the leg. What a piece of shit. And fled the room. Outside the hotel, Nosser encountered uniformed postal police, or Officer Carlos Acosta. Carlos tried to draw his weapon and identify himself, but before he could fire, Nosser fired 2 shots at him. The first of these shots hit Acosta in the chest. But was deflected into his shoulder by a bulletproof vest. Oh, good. He was in the second, just missed Acosta's head. Despite being shot, Acosta returned fire, hitting Nosser in the neck. Nosser fell to the ground, dropping his weapon. A .357 caliber Magnum revolver at his side. Acosta recovered the weapon and detained Nasser. Ballistics testing showed that the weapon recovered from Nasser was the weapon that fired projectiles found in the room in which Kahana and Franklin had been shot, as well as in the area Acosta had been shot. This is insane. This was just to destroy the enemies of Allah. These guys were just set out to commit urban terrorism. This is, I do not understand this. Blind Thrapple, hello, Scribe Light. I don't understand. Any religious fundamentalism, I don't get it. Whether it be Muslim or Christian or Jewish or I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. It I really don't get it. I just First of all, I don't understand how religious scholars can preach that their God, whatever God it may be, allows you to have free will, and then turn around and basically use God as a cudgel to wield their own will, not God's will, but their will. The human being at the pulpit, their will over the congregation. And then on the flip side, because I tried a couple of different times to actually be a member of a church, and I just couldn't do it. Just that blind faith that I was expected to have, that oh, God will fix everything if I just pray hard enough, and if I just let people walk all over me and pray hard enough, then God will take care of me. No, fuck that. God, if God really was gonna take care of me, do you think he would have let me go blind when I was a fucking baby? No, fuck that. Okay, let's move along to the Wikipedia article about this guy, because we're getting into the other defendants. But the conviction for Rahman in that case was life plus 15 years, and he was serving it in North Carolina, I believe. We're going to find that out in his Wikipedia page. And he has died. He passed away in 2017. But we will take a look here at this Wikipedia article and learn a bit of background about this person. I don't really think I can use the word gentleman. Let's see here. So, from Wikipedia. Where are we here? Let's try and get back here. All right. Sorry. Where are we here? So he died February 18th, 2017. He was born May 3rd, 1938 in Egypt. So let's see here. And he died in the United... So he was born in Egypt. He died in the United States. Let's see. His other names are the Blind Sheikh. Criminal status. Let's see here. Deceased. He has how many spouses here? Spouses. Anisha Hassan Guna. Let's see. Two spouses. Let's see. Children. 10 children. God damn. Convictions. As we said before, seditious conspiracy, terrorism, let's see, criminal penalty, life imprisonment, plus 15 years. So the Sheikh, Omar Abdel-rahman, was, and then there's an Arabic pronunciation, an Egyptian Muslim leader who served a life sentence at the Federal Medical Center. Oh, he didn't even... Really? They made him go to the Federal Medical... They sent him to a medical facility for criminals. Oh, I guess they can... I guess that's what they do for disabled... Like, for some disabled people. Because, like, I watch a channel, a guy by the name of Larry Lawton, and he was a jewel thief, and he spent time in quite a few federal prisons, and there were disabled people in regular jail. So I'm wondering why he got to go to the Federal Medical Center in Butner, North Carolina. So the seditious conspiracy his prosecution grew out of investigations of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, as we read in the case. Abdel-rahman was the leader of, I have no idea how to pronounce that, Al-Jama Al something crazy about also known as, quote, the Islamic group, a militant Islamist movement in Egypt that is considered a terrorist organization by the United States and Egyptian governments. The group was responsible for many acts of violence, including the November 1997 Luxor massacre. Oh, shit. In which 58 foreign tourists and 4 Egyptians were killed. I didn't know these guys were responsible for that. This guy was bad news. Oh, here's some background. Youth. Let's see about his youth. Let's see. Let's see his background here. There we go. Youth. Abdel-rahman was born in the city of Al Gomalia. I have no idea how to pronounce these things. In Egypt on May 3rd, 1938. He lost his eyesight when he was 10 months old. But what did he lose his sight to? He lost his sight when he was 10 months old. He studied a Braille version of the Quran as a child, had it memorized by age 11, and was sent to an Islamic boarding school. He developed an interest in the works of Ibn I've never heard of this guy. Taymiyyah? I've never heard of that guy. And let's see. Saeed, another name I can't pronounce. He studied at Cairo University, at Cairo University's School of Theology, and later earned a doctorate in Tafsir, Quranic interpretation, from Al-Azhar University. Okay, so this guy, despite him being a piece of garbage, crazy man, seems to be rather intelligent. Like I said, he seems to be that charismatic, intelligent, manipulative guy. Let's see here. So let's see. This is hard to read. In Cairo, his thesis was entitled, I'm not even going to try that. The Quran's attitude towards its opponents in the perspective of Sir Atapa, which received international acclaims with the highest grade. Well, good for him. Part of the 2,000-page dissertation has been published in book form in 2006 in Egypt as... I'm not even going to try to say that either. That's in 2,000-page dissertation. I know that dissertations are supposed to be large, but good Lord. Soon after leaving university, Abdel-rahman began preaching against the secular regime of Egyptian President Jamal Abdel Nasser. Let's see here. Abdel-rahman became one of the most prominent and outspoken Muslim clerics to denounce Egypt's secularism. Let's see here. Apparently, citation is needed there. Omar Abdel-rahman had 2 wives who bore him 10 children. Holy shit! Aisha Hassan Gouda, 7 sons, and Aisha Zodi, 3 children. Okay, I guess they don't know the gender of his children. His sons... Okay, that's not important. Let's see. Ahmed was killed in a drone strike in Afghanistan. What was he doing there? In 2011. Muhammad was captured in Pakistan in 2003. He was later extradited to Egypt and was released in 2010. I guess crime runs in the family. Asim was a close associate of Osama bin Laden. Wow, this guy and his family are just peachy people. Good Lord. Like, Jesus, this guy is insane. Following the September 11th attacks, let's see. So he was a close friend of Osama after 9/11. During the 1970s, Abdel-rahman developed close ties with two of Egypt's most militant organizations, Egyptian Islamic Jihad and the other group that has an unpronounceable name that is translated to Islam, or the Islamic group. Later to become an Al-Qaeda principal. Abdel-rahman spent 3 years in Egyptian jails while awaiting trial on charges of issuing a fatwa resulting in the 1981 assassination of Anwar Sadat, an Egyptian Islamic Jihad. Let's see. This guy is nuts. Although Rahman was not convicted of conspiracy in the Sadat assassination, he was expelled from Egypt following his acquittal. Get out of here, you crazy blind motherfucker! We don't care where you go. Just, you can't be here. Go away. That's what Egypt did. Wow. This guy is so bad that Egypt kicked him out, and he's a citizen. He made his way to Afghanistan. Oh. Excuse me. In the mid-1980s, where he contacted his former professor. Professor, help me. I've fucked up so badly, my own government has kicked me out of my country. Good God. Okay. Abdallah Asim. Everybody's named Abdallah in this region. Co-founder of Makkah Al-Qadami? MAK? Sorry for the pronunciations. Along with Osama bin Laden. Oh my Jesus. Abdel-rahman built a strong rapport with bin Laden during the Soviet-Afghan War. Lovely. So this guy was right up there. His family had to have been rich because, like, I know how if you're poor and you're not, like, any disability, like, it's just not the same over there. It's not the same over here either, but following Asim's murder in 1989, he assumed control of the international jihadist arm of MAK / Al-Qaeda. Or Al-Qaeda. Wow. Citation needed. Okay. In July 1990, Abdel-rahman traveled to to New York City, which is what we read about in the case, to gain control of max financial and organizational infrastructure in the United States. So this guy, he's just from the get-go, he's been a troublemaker. His name was listed on a U.S. State Department terrorist watch list, and he still managed to enter the United States. Wow. And he came in via Saudi Arabia. Of course he did. Of course he did. The State Department revoked his tourist visa on November 17th. Of course, as soon as that happened, Mr. Rahman packed his bags and traveled back to where he came from, because he is a law-abiding citizen of whatever country he happened to be from. Oh, wait. Yeah, this guy is crazy. And this background, like, he just shows him, like, freaking, he was friends with Osama bin Laden. And then some of the people that he was in conspiracies with became friends with bin Laden after 9/11. This guy was a lot bigger than I thought he was. And it's very interesting to see what happens when, you have some kind of money, or some kind of pull. Okay, let's see here. Despite this, in April 1991, he obtained a green card, permanent residence, from the Immigration and Naturalization Service in New York and New Jersey. After leaving the U.S. to go on an overseas trip, he tried to re-enter the U.S. in August 1991. At that point, U.S. officials recognized that he was on the lookout list and began the procedure to revoke his permanent resident status. The U.S. government still allowed him to enter the country, as he had the right to appeal the decision to revoke his resident status. Abdel-rahman failed to appeal the decision, and on March 6th, 1992, the U.S. government revoked his green card. And then he went home because he was a good boy. Oh, no, wait. He then requested political asylum. Because, the best way to get political asylum is to break the laws of the country that you want asylum from. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. This guy, I don't know if he's dumb, crazy, arrogant, or all three. A hearing on that matter was held on January 20th, 1993. It was later revealed that Abdel-rahman was given most of his visa approval by the CIA. That's gotta have a citation. No citation needed. Wow. Egyptian officials have testified that the CIA was actively assisting him in entering the U.S. Why? This doesn't seem right. I so Rahman issued a fatwa in the US that declared it lawful to rob banks and kill Jews in the US. Oh my. His sermon condemned Americans as the, quote, descendants of apes and pigs who have been feeding from the dining tables of the Zionists, communists, and colonialists. Um, okay. None of that makes any sense, but all right. He called on Muslims to assail the West, quote, cut the transportation of their countries, tear it apart, destroy their economy, burn their companies, eliminate their interests, sink their ships, shoot down their planes, kill them on the sea, air, or land. Jesus, dude. Who hurt you as a child? Did you get touched at that boarding school? Like, holy Christ. Well, what a fucking surprise, says Selective Boy, right? But good God, this guy was just angry. Preaching at 3 mosques in the New York City area, Abdel-rahman was soon surrounded by a core group of devoted followers, because apparently when you hear crazy person telling people that only specific people are descendants from pigs and apes, you go, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Jesus. That included persons who would soon be responsible for the New York 1993 World Trade Center bombing, which took place 5 weeks into the Bill Clinton administration. One of Abdel-rahman's followers, Al-Said Nasser, was linked to the 1990 Manhattan assassination of Israeli nationalist Rabbi Meir Kahane, founder of the Jewish Defense League. Stephen Emerson's 1994 television documentary Terrorists Among Us contains a video of Abdel-rahman in Detroit calling for jihad against the infidels. Huh. In 1993, Egypt suffered a spate of terrorist attacks in which over 1,000 people were either injured or killed. Wow. By comparison, the numbers for the prior year was 322. Holy shit. According to the New York Times, these attacks had shaken the Egyptian government. Well, yeah. Abdel-rahman was the spiritual leader of the Islamic group, which included terrorists who were conducting these attacks. So not only was he a spiritual leader and somebody that people were devoted to in the New York area, he had followers that remained behind in Egypt that were committing these attacks. This guy, I have a feeling. I just have a feeling that he might have been one of these blind guys that, although he took it upon himself to study, the Quran in Braille and memorize it and get himself in through university and all that, I have a feeling that once he got through all that, he might have been the type of blind guy who, the minute you defied him or didn't do what he said, he would probably be the type to, oh, what, you're not going to help the poor blind guy? The blind guy that God has, um, gifted with, insight that you don't have, like that type of deal. I could just see it now. This guy seems like just, I want to see something here. There is a video I want to see. I want to see if we can end the stream by looking for a clip of this guy. I would like to know if we can find something here. Because that would be interesting. I would like to see if there are still videos of him speaking, especially at mosques in the States. Let's see. No, I don't want to search with my voice. Thank you very much. I would rather search with my keyboard. Okay. Oops. Let's see if I can find the actual speech for the one in Detroit that's mentioned in this video. I would just like to point out that Muhammad couldn't read. That's true. Muhammad couldn't read. That's true. He couldn't. He was an illiterate pedophile. Okay, there's his surrender. There's his surrender on CNN. That's not what I want, though. Oh, there's the video about him dying. Which, of course, he died in 2017. Let's see. Another video about him dying. I would really like to see if there's any actual footage of him. Like, I would really like to see if there's footage of him speaking, because I want to get a kind of a snapshot. Let's see here. A verdict. Okay, that's a different thing. There's a lot of AP archive stuff. Let's see. I wonder if I can. Yeah. Okay. God damn it. There's a lot of death confirmations, but there's no speeches. Oh, they sent him back to Egypt to be buried. Let's see here. Funeral. I can't believe that asshole got a funeral. What a piece of garbage. How could he get a freaking how could he get a funeral? That's ugh. That makes me angry. The lawyer and the blind sheik. No, we're not. I want a speech of him. God damn it. I want to see what he's like. I would really like to see what I don't know. I don't think I can find one. That sucks. That sucks. No. Too bad I couldn't find a video. But that's okay. Hello again. So that's this that is this guy who is an insane person, an absolutely insane religious freak, um, who got people to do horrific things, and thank goodness he got justice served. He served his life sentence and he died in prison. Um, but just the fact that this is another lesson of why you should never let anybody have power over you. You should never let anybody convince you that doing something like killing other people is okay. You should never let somebody convince you that because other people believe something that you don't, that they are not people. The minute you let somebody have that power over you, you lose your personhood. You lose your humanity because you have given your will over to somebody else. And you are just their puppet at that point. And so that's my takeaway from this person and this insanity. And I really hope you guys enjoy this. My next venture into true crime will be next Monday on the coffee stream. So join me then. I'm going to try a little experiment and do Beat the Blind Girl on YouTube. We'll see how that works out. And so that should be tomorrow night. So be sure to come and check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys stay warm and safe and have a great rest of your night. And I'll be back on Wednesday. And I'll see you then. Bye, guys. Also, don't forget to buy yourself some merch. Have a good night.